as you know, and anyone else who knows, when we have a first-time guest, we like to welcome them to an even more exclusive club than the movie club, and that's the Clubhouse.
What's the password? New England clam chowder. Is that the red or the white? I can never remember that. White?
We love just having you guys like answer some questions about your history with movies, what you like, just so we get to know a little bit more about you before we talk about today's specific movie. So with that in mind, I want to jump into the first Clubhouse question. I will start with mine, which is, if you were on a deserted island, you had provisions, you had TV, all that kind of stuff, and you could take the filmography of one person with you. So everything they've ever done, if they're still alive, you'll get, the rest of the stuff they do. But from one person, either actor or director, whose filmography would you take?
Well, I love that you guys have included the we can take food with us. I've been watching the past couple episodes, and it seems to be a relief for most guests. Like, okay, I'm not going to actually die. Yeah. Well, get ready for probably the most plain white vanilla answer you've ever had for this question on the show, but I've got to say Tom Hanks.
I love it.
Yeah. Cliche, but when you think about just all of the movies that he has been in over time, it's no surprise that he does have the range. And when I think of great actors, they have range, right? So I can sit down and watch something like Castaway, Deserted Island Theme, where he puts in a great performance. But then if I want something a little more gritty, I can watch Road to Perdition, or I can sit down with the kids and enjoy Toy Story and his voiceover work. So really, he does it all.
Big, like anything you could lighten the mood. Yeah.
He's got the same sort of quality as a guy we're going to talk about at length coming up, Mr. Jimmy Stewart. He has that like everyman charm where like everyone can find something to attach to with Tom Hanks. And like all of his movies, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say all of them, but all of the ones that I've seen, they're all fun. Like Tom Hanks is just fun to watch on screen. He's just got like a warm energy that would be nice to accompany you on a desert island by yourself, for sure.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's the same kind of thing that I thought about with my pick, which was Spielberg. It's just like, he's kind of got the quantity and the quality. Yeah. And you could go back and watch, Bachelor Party or, The Money Pit, whatever, and have a light mood. But then, you can go watch Captain Phillips or whatever else. He's got it all. I think it's a really good call. And I mean, you say it's a basic answer, but there's no wrong answers here. And that one is really solid. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. I feel good about that.
We feel good about it too. I guess the one thing you couldn't say about Tom Hanks, because he is such a big name, is he doesn't have a whole lot of unsung gems, as we like to call it. And since Matt isn't here, I want to talk a little bit about your unsung gems. I'll take the place of Matt, which is a tough thing to do. He's a talented fella. Speaking of which, related to both literally and figuratively,
literally, yes.
He's a tall drink of water. But go check out his Unsung Gems line of graphics he just put up on our shop for t-shirt designs. They're so cool. It's like my favorite thing in our shop right now. And it's Black Friday deals going on, so take advantage of it. But Chris, I want to know, what's your Unsung Gem movie? What's the movie that you find yourself introducing to people and defending to people and trying to, expose to the masses, so to speak?
Sure. Okay. I don't know about defending it as much, but I kind of thought Unsung Gem as like, people don't really talk about this anymore, and I'm not sure why it's a good movie. So for me, I have two young kids right now that I'm homeschooling at home, and one of them is 9 and the other is almost 8 years old. So for a while I've been in the Disney world. Nice. So an unsung gem for me actually is 2016's Pete's Dragon, the live version.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I just remember when I first watched that, and I have special connection to it as well, because that was the first movie I took my kids to in the theaters.
So cool. Robert Redford, is he in that one?
Yeah, Robert Redford.
Okay.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes.
And I forgive me, I forget the name of the actor of the kid. Pete
Oaks Beagley,
but might have been. But the boy did a great job. And I just remember being impressed overall with the quality of it. It is a kid's movie, and sometimes those don't have the best quality. And, we know not every not every Disney movie works, but I think that one really speaks to kids and adult audiences. It had a really Pacific Northwest vibe too, flannels and forests, and I like that, being from Washington.
Nice.
So it's just really cool. But the thing is, like, I don't really remember people talking a lot about that one since it came out.
That's very true. I went and saw that one because I grew up with it in my household a lot. That was my aunt's favorite Disney movie. So it's one I got exposed to young. So I really liked it. And then just kind of learning about Mickey Rooney and Red Buttons and stuff like that through that movie. It's like, oh, these guys are funny. And then going on to like the other old TV shows and the roast and all that kind of a thing. So
yeah,
I was surprised that they were jumping to that one as far as their live action remakes, because I felt the same Unsung Gem quality almost about the original, kind of the live action cartoon thing. Is I think it's also just like never gets talked about with Disney stuff. But I'm like, it's really good. But I enjoyed that one. I'm pretty, I don't know. I loved the Jungle Book remake. I thought that was really, really good. And I thought this one was a lot of fun as well. And when you immediately said that, I thought about that like Pacific Northwest like setting. Like it's so cool. I think it was a great place for them to put this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I need to put it on my list. So that's a perfect answer for an Unsung Gem because, I spent the last 3 years of my life in Portland, Oregon, and I love the Pacific Northwest, pretty much everything north of San Francisco, from San Francisco up. I just love all of it. I'll even include the shitty parts in between San Francisco and like Medford. To our listeners that may be from there, my apologies. Weed is a silly, fun little town. Anyways, I think that's a perfect Unsung Gem answer. And I hope I did Matt proud with his segment this week.
You killed it.
You mentioned that that's a movie that you remember you went to for the first time with your kids, which leads nicely into my question. I just like to know if you could watch any movie for the first time and experience it for the first time again, what would you choose?
Okay, so the one I thought about actually still has kind of that personal connection where it was a lot of fun. It was one that my wife and I went to the theater together to see. And that doesn't happen very often because my wife's not a theater goer. But I would have to choose Knives Out.
Can we ask why? Has something changed?
No.
No, it hasn't changed, or no, we can't ask?
Mr. Stevens.
Nice.
So between the personal connection of just having a great time watching it with my wife, and then it is one of those movies where once you know some of the surprises and twists in it of the mystery, it's like, okay, arguably on a rewatch, it's not as enjoyable as that first time where you just didn't see what was coming. I mean, I still really enjoy it watching it several times, but that first time was just a bit of magic. Ryan Johnson, fantastic.
Guy's good.
So good.
That's one of those movies too that even when you know what's happening, it's fun to like know what's happening, right? Like, oh, that's okay, that leads to this, and that, that points to this. And I think that's a fun answer. And I should have known you were going to answer that. I just listened to your episode where your wife was a guest and you talked about Knives Out at length. So that's a great pick. I actually don't know if I've seen that all the way through. I watched it with my partner who she doesn't really, we don't watch a lot of the same movies either. That's one movie that I think I walked in and she was watching it. And I was like, wait,
nice.
We don't ever watch movies together. I would watch this. No, I wasn't really upset, but I think I watched only like most of it, but not all of it. So I need to give it the full watch for sure.
Yeah, it's a good one. Like at risk of repeating myself once again, but like I said, that was part of one of the best 3 weeks of movie going in my life. I saw that and Parasite and Uncut Gems back to back weeks. I was like, man, movies are back, baby. This is like, everything's going to be great now.
We did it.
Everything. Yeah. Man, that was such a nice little month there at the movie theater. But I think Knives Out is, that's an awesome choice. I also listened to that episode, listening to you guys talk about it. I was kind of curious where you're going to go after listening to your top 5, about, some like the Nolan, like it's all made for theaters. I think that's, for me, that's what I would go to, or just Inception, because it's the one that I still think about all the time, like that first theater experience. And there's just something about some of those big movies, it's a blast. But I think something as well crafted as like Knives Out works just as well. The guy was coming off of Star Wars. He knows how to do spectacle and epic and everything. And we got it in this really cool mansion. So,
and coming off a lot of heat too, right?
Yes. Yeah, very true. Like a lot to like, I don't know, just a lot of shitty people just kind of like coming after him, and
or even just in a nice way. I don't know about this Ryan Johnson guy, and then he's like, boom, here's this, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how do you follow that up? And people who didn't see Brick or Looper or whatever, and what's he gonna do? So, but to you guys' point on your episode, I'm curious what this next thing is gonna be. Like it was so specific, that first movie, so I'm curious to see what he'll do. But at this point, for me, he's just earned my ticket. Whatever it's gonna be, I'm just gonna go check it out. Like I don't even care. Like he's got a solid track record. So
for me, the movie that did that for, like, in my opinion, for Ryan Johnson was Brick, because I'd seen a number of his other films, and then I went back and watched Brick. And I was like, damn, he made this. This was like one of his, was it his first feature?
I think it's his debut. Yeah.
It's like, that's his debut movie. It's so fucking cool. And I was just like, okay, I'm in on this guy. I'm in on Ryan Johnson for sure.
Well, admittedly, I know about that one, but I have not watched Brick yet.
Oh yeah. You got to give it a shot, man.
I'm writing that one down. Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
I'm actually in that same boat.
Really?
I have not seen Brick.
Oh man, it's so good. Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk about it. You can come back on, Chris. We can talk about Brick.
That could be an unsung gem if Matt hasn't seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
It's a good one.
All right. Well, welcome to Clubhouse. Thank you for answering the questions. Tyler and I have had the privilege of listening to some of your other episodes going into this, so knowing a little bit, but I think it's just great for our listeners to get to know everybody and kind of understand your tastes and all that stuff a little more.